Welcome back to Key Talk Media. This your host, Key Talk. Check it out, man. Alright. I'm gonna give a shout out to Notification Gang, Key Talk Gang, give it all the reader the same thing for rocking with me every single video. If you listen to my voice right now, go ahead and like the video and hit the notification so you get a notification every single time I drop a video. Anyways. So new reports are coming out now inside of the Young Thug Rico YSL trial. You already know. Right now, y'all talking about Young Thug's lawyer Brian Still actually filed a motion to the court, to the judge, asking the judge to please suppress, suppress the actual statements that Young Thug gave while he had an involuntary interrogation. Now, if you don't know what that means, that's pretty much Young Thug's lawyer telling the judge, hey, my client made these type of statements whenever he was getting interrogated, but while he was getting interrogated, they didn't read him his Miranda rights, which means he didn't voluntarily give his Miranda rights up. He didn't have any type of counsel with him. He didn't have me there with him. So pretty much whenever they first arrested Young Thug, they took him to the back room, started to interrogate him. Young Thug probably said some stuff, and some stuff that, Young Thug said could have not said necessarily that he did any snitching, but what he said, could be used against him in the court of law. That's why they say, hey, whatever you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Of course, that's what they say when they're giving you your Miranda rights. So whatever he said can be somehow twisted, to go actually against him. So the lawyers pretty much come down and saying, hey man, judge, don't let all that stuff that they trying to use, any type of statements that they trying to use that he made, do not count that at all, because he didn't waive his rights. Anyways, the rest of the It's On Site reports reads, Still alleges that the two officers cross-examined Young Thug while at the DeKalb County Jail. And of course, when y'all hear Still, that's Young Thug's lawyer. Anyways, at the DeKalb County Jail, despite the rapper never waiving his Miranda rights, Still claims the Cobb County investigator David Rossi and ATF Special Agent T. Cunningham put Thugger in an interrogation room without this legal counsel consent, knowledge, or permission. So like I told y'all earlier, they took him to that room. He didn't have his lawyers. They didn't even have his permission. Now, even with that happening, Young Thug probably should have known not to say nothing at all, but not potentially says, he did say something in that room with them, and that's why his lawyer is now asking, for the judge to suppress it. The rest of it says, all of Mr. Williams' statements must be suppressed from the trial in the above referenced case, and all witnesses must be instructed not to utter the fact that Mr. Williams made any statements which were not voluntarily made, were made in violation of his constitutional right to counsel, and made in violation of Miranda warning. The filing stated, additionally, no mention can be made that Young Thug was given an opportunity to speak with law enforcement since this is post-arrest. The rapper's legal team reportedly made another request which asked the judge to return phones and computers that were taken from his home in Sandy Springs, Georgia on July 2015. The 31-year-old allegedly threatened a security guard at a mall, leading authorities to raid his home where they discovered an assortment of drugs and guns. The felony charges Young Thug faced following the raid were dropped after the trial ruled the search unconstitutional. So pretty much, they, back in 2015, whenever, Young Thug allegedly threatened somebody, they did a raid on his crib. Whenever they went in the crib, they found phones, computers. Well, they found drugs and guns, which made them actually take the phones and computers as well. So I guess, the lawyer's trying to get that back, even though that was way back in 2015. They probably already been through that as well. But, there's probably evidence in there. And of course, his lawyer is fighting to get that stuff back as hard as he possibly can, just to get rid of that, because if they do say they have the evidence, they'll have to actually show it and prove it in court. But also, since it was found to be an unconstitutional raid, anything that they did inside of that raid when they went inside of his house has to be pretty much thrown out, just like the case was thrown out because it was unconstitutional. So, with that being said, they got to go ahead and give that phone and whatever else they took at that particular time back. Anyways, so like I said, even though the lawyer's trying to get something suppressed, it doesn't necessarily mean that Young Thug did any type of snitching at all. It could just mean that he said, I can't say exactly what it means, but it could mean that he kind of said something that, could hurt his case or hurt the case of others. Now, depending on what the judge actually says, if the judge say he will suppress the statements that Young Thug made, of course we won't see that. But if he chooses not to suppress those statements, we'll just have to see what those statements are. And once we see what those are, of course, we'll let you know inside of the media. Let me know something. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this entire ordeal. I'm out.